Live from Rialto, California, Mark Flores presents Retro Collecting 101. Today's topic, counterfeit games, and what you should do and what you should know before you buy a game online. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Mark Flores, here with another great episode of Retro Collecting 101. Tonight's episode of Retro Collecting 101 is brought to you by Game Swappers. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade your retro games and next-gen consoles. That's PS4 and Xbox One. You can come into contact with Game Swappers via Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. Okay guys, tonight's topic is eBay online purchases, eBay counterfeit games, and eBay end label detection. What some eBay users are getting away with, and what you should know before you purchase a game from eBay from any other online sources. Lately I've come across a bunch of eBay listings and found that there are people trying to sell games that are counterfeit. Before that, I wanted to state something off of the bat regarding my opinion on end labels and label replacements, just to get this out of the way. End labels and label replacements are totally acceptable in my book, if they are purchased with the best of intentions. I feel that if you want your end label you're going to keep for the rest of your gaming life to be pristine, so be it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. On the other end, if you're a person that is purchasing the front end labels and top end labels with the cruelest intentions, then you are the reason why people have become very skeptical to purchase rare and expensive video games online. This brings up a great point to where I myself only try to find games in person and try to make trades in person more often than I used to when I just bought games online. I myself was never a victim of counterfeit games or a victim of having a game that wasn't the right game and had like bogus end labels or any of that. But I've heard too many horror stories where someone gets a game and it's not the correct game, and it's deliberately not the correct game. So I just wanted to bring up to the point that which became the topic of this podcast. With that being said, there are ways to make sure that you're making a confident purchase online or in person. You got to make sure to just be very mindful nowadays with any purchase, whether it's online or in person. You have to do your due diligence to make sure that you're going to be getting the game that you want or whatever product that you want. It is not up to the distributor of the game. It's not up to the seller all entirely. All they have to do is just sell the game, send a couple photos with it, and that's all they got to do. It's up to you to make sure, with the best of your knowledge, that you're making a purchase that is a consciously sound one. That is something that you have to do within yourself and be able to know that you're making a very effective purchase at the end of the day. If you're purchasing online, look at as many photos as you can. Check the reputation, check the rating, even via Instagram, via all sorts of means, just to find out. Contact the seller with any questions. Make sure you actually have all your bases covered when it comes to purchasing online games. If it's all possible, if it's a rare game, it is not impolite at all to ask the person selling the game that you want to see the actual board, to make sure that the inside board is actually the correct one. As long as you check the board via photos or in person, look for any serial codes that correspond with that game, or the actual Look for the serial codes that correspond with the game, and then to look at that as well to actually find out the actual correct serial numbers. You got to make sure to go to the proper websites that have forums that let you know, okay, this game's board is this is what it looks like, and these are the numbers. All you got to do is pop open the cartridge and find out for yourself. If you're purchasing in person a big money game, you check the board. Look for any discolorations and any different colored Frankenstein backing. Make sure you're getting an actual product that you want in full 360 degrees, from front to back to side, every which way. If you have a way to test the game, do it in person. For Super Nintendo games, a Superboy comes in handy when testing the games. That way you're actually able to test the game in person. You have to make sure that you're doing what you got to do to make sure that you have the product that you need, that you want to get at the end of the day. It is all up to you, and it is all up to your own risks. But with purchases of high scale, such as high tier rare games, you have to make sure to make a conscious decision based on finding out that this game is actually authentic. Then you're able to go with the motions and purchasing the game. Which leads me to the next point, is counterfeit games. To make my point very, very simple, I believe in authenticity. I think that the rare games that are floating around should only be the ones that sell. The games that were made, the rare games should just be the rare games, and people shouldn't be making reproduction carts at all. If you're selling repro carts, meaning any game that is a copy of the original and it's not an authentic copy of the original press of these games, it's counterfeit. That's all I need to say about that. It's point blank counterfeit. It's a counterfeit game. It doesn't matter whether or not you put a reproduction. If you put a reproduction logo on the end label and you sell it for almost near the retail price of what it goes for if it was authentic, that is a counterfeit game at its core. You're not giving it away. If you make something that's counterfeit, by law you are not supposed to sell it at all. If you want the retro gaming community to thrive, it's expected of you to never dabble in these practices to make a profit. It doesn't help anyone. If a game is too expensive, just settle for ROMs. It's as simple as that. There's no reason for you to dance around the issue of whether it's a reproduction cart and it's the most inexpensive price I can get it at before I actually get it. If it were an authentic game. What you have to make sure is that if you buy a game that's a reproduction, and then after you get tired of it, you will you'll be a little bit more lenient to sell it for the value that it is if it were authentic, because you are the only one that knows it's a reproduction. By you doing that, you are actually extending the hand that actually gave you the game originally. You don't want these things to circle around. It's just like when someone tries to make a purchase with the counterfeit $20 bill. As soon as someone detects that it's counterfeit, the merchant that finds it will keep it. And they'll be able to, they show people that, this is a counterfeit item. They don't when people get a $20 bill, a merchant gets a $20 bill, they're not going to accept it because it's fake. At that point they'll just stop it then and there. That's what you need to do as you, the consumer, when it comes to purchasing reproduction games. Just don't do it. I'm pretty surprised to see eBay's actually eBay sellers actually getting away with this. There's no room for people to actually make reproduction carts of Sunset Riders, reproduction carts of high tier NES games, reproduction carts of any game in particular, because A, it's counterfeit, B, if you end up buying it, or you end up buying a reproduction cart, you'll have more leniency to actually give it off to someone else and pawn it off as an actual game. And then C, it doesn't help the community the retro community that you're in. It won't help it at all, because what you do is going to affect the other person in the long run. Say if you trade it, or if you actually tell someone, yeah, just grab a reproduction cart, you're not helping anyone in any which way, because you're bringing negative influence to a community that thrives in it. In the retro collective community that I'm in with a bunch of other people from Instagram, there hasn't been a lot of people trying to play off reproduction carts as authentic, and I'm glad for that, because they know that these counterfeit games form a symbiont circle where what I do might affect someone else at the end of the day. So, like I just brought up earlier, me purchasing a reproduction cart and telling someone else, oh, it's really no big deal. After you do that, the influence will go to someone else, and it will pass someone else, and soon enough, this whole map of people buying games is going to be flooded with people just with reproduction carts, and then having the value being assessed as, oh, well, it's a reproduction cart, so it's not going to cost as much as the authentic one, but I'm going to sell it for 40% of what it's worth instead. No, that doesn't really sit well with me. That won't sit well with a lot of people, and it won't sit well with the government, the U.S. government entirely, because it's really not legal for you to be doing this at all. I just wanted to bring this out because it's just, and I wanted to bring it really short and to the point, because this is something that needs to be said. This is something that needs to be told to everyone within the retro gaming community, that reproduction carts, they really don't have any benefit at all. Sure, you could try to make an argument, but you're only doing that if you yourself actually possess reproduction carts, and there's not a lot of evidence leaning towards your way if you are actually pro reproduction cart. There isn't a lot going for you on that end. But anyway, I wanted to let you guys know is that this portion of the Retro Collecting 101 podcast has been brought to you by Game Swappers. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade your retro games and next-gen consoles. That's PS4 and Xbox One. You can come into contact with Game Swappers via Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers, buy, sell, and trade. Alright, guys, I wanted to let you guys know about this. This was something that was been on my mind for a little bit. I'll be sure to come up with another topic in the following week for another great episode of Retro Collecting 101. But make sure that you actually do your part with bringing awareness to the fact that reproduction carts do not thrive. And let's do it like this: any counterfeit item within the community that it's in, a fake purse, a fake jersey, a fake game, anything fake, counterfeit, will not thrive in any circle that it's in. It just won't. I mean, you really can't fake it at all to pass off games as counterfeit. It's really sad for someone to do that, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast episode, because it's just something that shouldn't be going on right now, but people are actually doing it, and it's really upsetting. Anyway, I want you guys to have a good night. Thank you for tuning in to Retro Collecting 101. You guys have a good night. Thank you.